And we're back with the Heroes Lounge Division 1 end of season tournament. Semi-final number 1, another best of 5 is ahead of us, and we have our first map. It is Battlefield of Eternity. On the left side, the Raiders with Nano on Genji, Uki on Diablo, Gavlo on Vala, Sven on Samuro, and Vido is playing Anduin. Over on the right side, so I'm actually correcting their name because they're called Oops, Inting again, and they misspelled the Oops. The Inting didn't fit the scoreboard, so I actually corrected some of the spelling here. I mean, if you're already going full Britney, then at least do it the right way. So on the right side, we got Mindhog on Liming, we got Captain Rex on Brightwing, Soaking on Urel, Fish on Mirrodin, and Marl Karks is playing Sylvanas. Okay, game number 1. Arrow build, obviously, for Vala. And again, this is the end of season tournament of Division 1 in Heroes Lounge. As I said multiple times in the past, if you are looking for like-minded people to play Heroes of the Storm on the regular in a more competitive environment, no matter what rank you are, check out heroeslounge.gg. They have an amazing Discord, they have a good FAQ, they can answer all of your questions there, and you can see if you sign up for a season either as an individual or maybe even with an entire team if you have a couple of friends. But then again, friends in 2023. Good joke. So the internet is our friend. But yeah, we got a couple of stacks already together. 1-4 split. And this is the semifinal. There's no lower bracket, so this is just all there is. If you lose this match, then you are out. If you win, then you move on to the grand final for Division 1. And I like what we're having in regards to combos, especially for the Raiders here with Vala, Genji, Samuro, of course. A bit of a wild card, can be very annoying and very powerful too. But at the same time, you got to be a bit cautious, since it means that you don't really have a proper side tank that can help you in big team fights to shield the backline. So if they can keep him alive, then yeah, for sure. But alright. With that all set up, we now have on the other side, of course, Sylvanas, which if they are able to, let's say, get an Immortal with maybe a kill or two, thanks to Liming and her resets, they can really use Sylvanas and push this through a lot more aggressively. So, up at the top, that's where we are seeing Sven and Soaking going up against each other. Vala, of course, is now going to try before the first objective is up to get as many stacks as possible, but her real power unleashes after level 7 when she gets Monster Hunter and therefore the synergy. So Immortal number 2 is normally what we're looking at, but ooh, first blood following on the footsteps of Mirrodin here as they're chasing him down and take the dwarf apart. Nice! So already well played, really sweet move. And down here we go for the next camp. As we're heading into this, also, quick reminder, thanks everybody for supporting the channel and the stream on patreon.com/Khaldor. Really appreciate it. We've run so many tournaments since Blizzard killed HGC, and a lot of these things were simply possible because of people supporting the stream over there. So big shout out to all of the Patreon supporters. It's really appreciated, and you're helping a lot to keep the esports scene here alive. Liming, talking about keeping things alive, was not kept alive, so she went down at the bottom of the map. And up here at the top, the red team has at least set up a push. So while they lost Liming, this top side is at least going fairly well. And Vala now sitting at 7 stacks on her level 1, can start to contribute on the first Immortal, on the first objective. So let's see what they can do here. 2-0, that's the kills right there. So the red team, they have to step it up a little bit. I mean, currently they are just true to their name, so they're inting again. The question is, how much can they int here? It's a halftime show victory for the blue team. Small one at that, though. Not really a lot of difference in regards to hit points on the two Immortals, so this is still either team to take. Depends a bit on who is first on the Immortal itself, and currently it's looking actually very, very good for the blue team. They are the ones that are aggressive, whereas their opponent is just trying to defend here. And in the long run, that usually doesn't work out unless you get a few kills. They're looking for those kills, applying pressure to Anduin, who's not impressed and just simply zips Diablo out of the fight, but then Liming follows up and gets the kill regardless. But you can tell how that Immortal is very, very low. Nano's jumping away, tries to get a counter kill because he's about to fall, and he gets it. So he takes out Sylvanas, but gets killed by Mirrodin. They're still poking with Sven on Samuro, and even Anduin is throwing some light into the mix, trying to get the hit points lowered. Over on the right side, Mind Talk. Now it's starting to chip the hit points of the blue team's Immortal away. But these bad boys are already back to business. And of course, Vala is at least using all of that to also get additional stacks for her level 1 quest. Is sitting at 12 already. And they are going to get the first Immortal. There's no doubt about it. Immortal number 1 going over to the Raiders. Over on the right side. Yeah, we still have a chase going on, and it seems like they're going for Urel. And they got her. Urel is down. Level 7 talents are kicking in. This is where the real synergy for Vala is now also available. The arrow synergy with the Monster Hunter. Once that the next Immortal spawns, they can really do a number on this. At least the early game is going really well for the Raiders in this first game of the best of 5 series. So the push is happening. By now, we have a bit of a jump up at the top. Towers is gone. We have also the gate destroyed. Samuro applying pressure at the bottom of the map, forcing therefore Urel also to react to him. But he's already traveling topside, so they haven't really given up on this yet. They still think that they might have a chance of flanking in here. Sven is now at least stopping by, but with the Immortal gone, they shouldn't be able to do a lot. Even with the numbers advantage of a 5 versus 4 on the lanes, Samuro, he moved right back down to the bottom of the map. In experience, at least, the red team is able to stay fairly close to them. Actually ahead. So yes, they've lost some structures, but let's keep in mind that previously they destroyed the top wall all by themselves. So not too bad either. Now down to the bottom of the map, first camps are now about to be taken again. We have Skullcracker in and the Reverberation for Muradin. And the fight up at the top. And all these skirmishes, honestly, if Vala can participate in them, it would go very well for them in the long run. Scaling with her arrow build is super important for the next 2 objectives, and Gavlo is now trying to do exactly that. On soaking, gets 1 hit in, gets a second, sitting at 20, and bam, Urel gone. So communication definitely not the best there for the red team, but they have still that topside push going, and this is something that they used earlier today already to get structural damage in. So they might have lost a hero, but they did a lot of work at that top fort, and whew, I'm not so sure that it was worth the rotation. Now, depends a little bit on what Sven can do now down at the bottom of the map. He's still alone, Urel is on her way, but he needs to at least break this wall and ideally get a bit further ahead. They also have level 10 around the corner, so gonna get their heroics a little bit faster, which might or should help them with the next Immortal. So they gained something. Half a level of elite, good start into the halftime show, but they lost the top fort, so structurally it wasn't really a win for them. But they can make up on it if they are using that lead in experience now. And also the extra stacks that they got for Vala, who's immediately starting to chunk that Immortal down. And you can see that the red team is still trying to get level 10. There it is, finally. Apocalypse, by the way, for Diablo. So halftime show is gone, but now still a fighting chance for Inting again. But the Raiders, yeah, they are already working this down, and as long as nobody pressures Gavlo, he can just get 1 arrow out after another, and that's pretty much exactly what he's doing here. So, yeah, Light Bomb is out, Diablo is gone, had the souls and will come back. But that Immortal is already extremely low, and Vala gets a few more hits together. Gavlo is easily sitting there now at 22, makes his way over again, waits out some of the cooldowns that have been used, and can now just move in again. Gets another hit, sits at 23, and with a bit of RNG, some of the arrows will still connect here. So this is looking good for them. Looking good for Immortal number 2, and this one would of course hurt a lot more. Nice Raid of Vengeance, straight in the choke point. Nicely done. Apocalypse, and oh boy, that's gonna hurt. The Fruit Fly is down, Brightwing got eliminated, Li Ming gets popped, and now they're going for Fish. Muradin, he won't escape either. He can hop around a little bit, but Genji is already following him and drops him. Seems like Sylvanas is also going to be in trouble. Jumps out, gets done. Good job from Diablo. Rain of Vengeance follow up from Vala. And that's the end of him. Well done. 9 kills, 2-3. And an open lane for this. Down to the bottom of the map, the fort gets destroyed by Samuro, who has also done his job here. So now there's a lot of momentum kicking in for the Raiders as they are raiding that top lane and trying to claim I guess the gate, well, now that they are taking down Li Ming, they might even get a bit more than the gate. If they can damage the keep, that would be fantastic. Problem is that Vala isn't here yet. Gavlo is irgendwo nirgendwo over on the left side. Whereas over top, we now have the Raiders breaking through that gate. The defense is set. Li Ming not here yet. But this is going to cost them the entire wall, maybe more. They should lose at least a few hit points on the keep. And the big question is, can there maybe be another kill from the Raiders? If they can get a kill, then that would make matters a lot worse, but still fine. So as is, 10 kills to 3, 1 level lead, 2 forts have been destroyed. They have taken the lead structurally. Sven... I mean, Money Pig is still the weapon of choice, of course, as a mount, but I gotta admit that this works quite well. So the combo that he's using here, I don't have anything against it. This is still fairly alright, so kudos to him. Well executed. Yeah. For the gates, the camp is taken. And now it comes pretty much down to... I don't want to call it too early, but it really feels like it comes down to the next objective. If the red team doesn't take the next Immortal, they are very likely going to lose keeps, maybe even more. So it's going to get real rough. They should be able to fight on even talents with the blue team, but given the current situation, there is a lot of momentum that is building up for the Raiders, and if that doesn't get stopped eventually, then you can kiss that game goodbye. So they really need to make an effort here. And as mentioned before, all they gotta do essentially is win a big team fight, and then Sylvanas can help them to take some structures down. We've seen these rotations onto the lanes already outside of fights that they won that did a lot of damage, and they have to repeat that performance. So 27 stacks for Vala. Looking over to the damage numbers, we have around 32,000, 23,000 for Li Ming, and well, off we go. This is a bit of a moment of truth situation. Big team fight, X-Strike is already out. Red team on the retreat for now. Still a couple of ults available though on both sides, and they could try and make a play here. Samura is honestly already pissing them off royally here, as the camp is pushing through the top with catapults, and now that the Immortals are up, you already know the drill. Vala is right away on the Immortal. Arrow, arrow, straight to the face, and even with only 27 stacks, she is just rocking those numbers. But Uki is dropping a little bit low, and this might be a good first kill. Diablo gone, he had the soul stacks, and there's the counter kill. Li Ming eliminated, Sylvanas is dropped, and boy, the pain train is coming. And it is coming with full force. It's not only that. The top lane is also taking even more damage. I showed the camp and wave that was pushing in previously, but now it's actually doing damage on the keep. So this is a bit of a disaster. Vala is at 32 stacks now and is about to drop the Immortal fully, but they're just going for one kill after another, as you can see here. Brightwing is gone. Muradin is barely escaping. I guess Soaking might make it out. Not so sure just now. Nope. And apparently, yeah, that jump. So he's able to get out, but look at the keep. Keep is at 50% HP. Vala is now eliminating the final few hit points on the Immortal, and that is, of course, going to be 100% on their shield. This is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot. I mean, right now they have level 16, so it's not only that they have a full shielded Immortal, but they also have level 16, and one of the forts, or one of the keeps, is down to 50% HP. So yeah, good luck with that. Manticore on level 16. This is definitely gonna be a big blow here. Samura is already at the top, so technically he can try to push on 2 lanes, but he's already rotating down to the bottom of our map, if I see that correctly. So we'll see if they can go for core, or how this is going to work out. But for now, 13-4, and off we go. Vala already chipping away. They need to be careful that Li Ming doesn't get a quick and easy kill in and some resets. That's the one thing that could still ruin the party here. But with the gate gone and vision granted, it's going to be a lot harder for her to make that play. So a final tower gets removed. Top lane left alone. They're trying to get that kill on Genji, but they just can't. So the red team still trying to defend as best as possible, but of course they're losing ground here. They still don't have level 16. They're close, but not close enough. Nice combo. Diablo stun straight into the Rain of Vengeance. No kill thus far. A couple of the frontliners are low though, and Sven might be in trouble, but with a double pull from Anduin, they can save the day. And the keep is now gonzo. Goodbye. No level 16, but they cannot go for the core. So, nicely done, honestly, from the perspective of the red team. They prevented the core from getting destroyed. Nano is putting additional pressure onto the top lane keep, which also, of course, forces the hand of the red team. They have to rotate over to it. Don't have another chance. And now it's all about just getting these camps quickly. Red team is coming over trying to steal that. I mean, don't throw the game now. Blue team has it under full control. They can still throw it though. Nano is still annoying here. Still trying to poke the keep and applying therefore pressure onto the red team. But the Raiders find themselves in a very good spot. Very solid position here and doing the best they can. With 13 now, 13 kills. They're moving back again, doing their thing. And chase Nano, but I don't really think they can catch him here. Swift Strike is already out. He's already on the cloud. Might get dropped here. Jumps away. Ditches the Stormbolt. Okay. And now the rest of the team is there to save the day for him. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of time wasted by oops, I'm Inting again. Not really much that they can do though. I mean, they are at the mercy of the blue team here. They can try and force a fight, and if they catch, of course, someone like Nano, then they can do a lot. But he's probably going to X-Strike out here. He will have to. Yeah, does that. Plays around the cooldown as best as he can, and gets finally caught. Yeah, that happens when you get a bit greedy. And that might actually become a bit of a problem. I don't think it's a massive issue yet, but this might become a small problem. Sylvana's using possession here for the catapult, so that alleviates pressure from the top lane. Samuro is now trying to take that keep down, so they're attempting to be just annoying. Waits probably for the next minion wave. The problem is that Genji's still dead. The Immortal is already on the map, and Genji is gone. So Samuro, he immediately moves over as they are attacking the Immortal and is going to take this one. No chance of saving it, so that means that not a single structure is left. But this Immortal will likely be claimed by the red team. So technically they have still a chance to end the game. The problem is I don't really think that the Raiders are going to give them that opportunity. Even if the Immortal is claimed, the Raiders are just going to push the lane. They should send Samuro down to the bottom of the map and push with this. Just go for the core here. Force them to retreat. I don't think they're going to win the Immortal unless they're getting a few kills here. So if they lose the objective, having Samuro or someone else push a little bit for the core might force the blue team back so that they have an easier time defending. Now, unfortunately for them, of course, that Immortal is also traveling down to the bottom of the map, which means it has to go through a fort and a keep before they can attack the core. So that doesn't make their play any easier. And Vala in particular, with 36 stacks, should be able to chunk this down, I mean, fairly quickly. You can already see how the shield is just disappearing. Samuro pushes up at the top. All they gotta do is sacrifice the fort, don't die, slowly move back, and if there is an opportunity, go for it. But yeah, don't die. I'm looking at Diablo here. Samuro is now coming in, fort is gone, but with half a level to 20, I'm happy for the red team that they got the Immortal, but it would be an utter disaster for the Raiders if they would lose the game because of it, given that they've destroyed every single keep. But this is the only chance that oops, I'm Inting again has, so they gotta try. They gotta do it. They gotta hope that there is a mistake on the blue team side they can exploit, but as is, they're just moving back, so they only killed a single fort. They didn't get more than that. More poke is happening now. But with 20 about to be claimed by the Raiders, I think we all know that this is now gonna get so much more difficult for the red team. 46,000 damage for Li Ming. They're holding on to it though. 54,000 for Vala. And of course her siege damage on the Immortal is also quite impactful. Another thing that makes a lot of difference, or technically could. Down to the bottom of the map in the meantime. We still have Samuro trying to go for the side push, split push strategy, which I actually like a lot. Again, it forces the hand of the red team. They have to retreat time and time again. It's kind of funny to me, though, that Vala has not really participated in a single big team fight for a while. Now you can see from the stacks that she has, only sitting at 37. Went into Acrobat, by the way, so this can get even more extended. But she's just taking camps right now. So she's taking a lot of the camps. She's focusing on the Immortal. No rip against her, but it shows how they focused a little bit differently on the late game. Nearly level 20 for the red team. Three-bladed style is in. We got also the inner fire. Immortal hasn't been announced yet. So while the red team is still pinned down in their base, that technically not out of this game yet. So, time will tell. Position is, of course, already taken. Samuro is going to time the camp down here to force more. And if you look at the top lane, so top lane is already annoying for the red team. Bot lane is going to get annoying here too. So this is all set up by the blue team so that during the objective phase, some heroes will have to retreat in order to defend the core. We're at 19 minutes in, so these catapults actually hurt. And there's a lot of pressure now going on. So really annoying. And Vala can just simply come in. I mean, look at this. Vala is just wrecking that Immortal. She nearly has it at 50% HP with just a couple of arrows fired. Samuro is still fighting with Irel, so this is a 4 versus 4. And the stuns are happening. Wailing Arrow is out. Everybody is still retreating just slightly, but the lanes are pushing. And while all of this happens, the blue team also wins the objective simply through Vala firing every now and then an arrow. And getting, in addition to that, also additional kills here. Yeah, Diablo has to be careful once again, but the halftime show has been won. Blue team easily claims it. Vala just murdering that, and as mentioned before, somebody has to deal with this. This is a huge problem for the blue team. As soon as that arrives at the core, they're gonna lose that shield. So they're trying to get kills, and they might get one now. Yes, they do! Diablo is dead again. He's soaking up the damage, but he had the soul stack, so he pretty much did everything that he needed to do. And now at the bottom of the map, this situation is getting more annoying. Now, one of the problems, of course, that the catapult is griefing as usual and attacks the tower, but then again, it will actually destroy that thing, so that shuts that down. Over here on the right side, they're trying to take the Immortal on, but I don't think they can. Apocalypse used, Inner Fire is there, they're trying for a kill on Mirrodin. That dwarf, hoppity hop, comes in and gets the rewind. Shield is slowly falling on the red team side, by the way, as the Immortal gets claimed by the Raiders. And yes, the damage is done. The shield is gone and the catapults are still firing away, so already 10% gone on the core, a bit more than that. Yeah, Sylvanas came in and used possession again on the catapult, so good for her, but the problem still remains. They have nothing left here. There's nothing left. They're poking the core so that the shield doesn't regenerate too much. And now the Immortal is on the way. So, yeah, next fight, they're going for Anduin. A poke is used and Urel is dead. Urel gets deaded, they take Sylvanas out, the entire team gets killed with the exception of Mindtalk. Liming the only one able to escape here. Quick Master Taunt, but of course the end of game number 1 is imminent in this best of 5 series at the semifinal. Battlefield of Eternity goes to the Raiders. GG and well played. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Well, one cursed hollow, and we have the lead in the series for the Raiders. On the left in blue, Nano on Hanzo, Uki on Diablo, Gavlo is playing Thrall this time, so we have them with a triple frontline, including Blaze on Sven on Blaze, and Vito is playing Lucio. On the right side of the map, we got Inting again with Mindtalk on Falstad, Malkarx on Genji, Fish on Tyrael, Soaking on their Hugger, and we got Brightwing too, so they actually have 3 globals that they're running. They're more or less going full Fnatic here, and interesting comms, so let's see if this is working for them. On the macro side, they got the lead, for sure. I mean, 100%. Now, can they use that? That's a bigger question. For fights over bosses, for example, they have a Sanctification, always assuming they're going down that path and don't go for some Judgment, Hinterland Blast, and X-Strike combo, which I would love, don't get me wrong, but I just don't see it happening. Sven gets immediately licked and attacked, but he survives. Nano and Hanzo, that of course is in and of itself already a huge threat, so if you see that, then alarm bells should be ringing immediately. Shimada against Shimada, but my money for now is on Nano. He's just an absolute beast on this hero. But this is a best of 5 series. This is the semi-final as mentioned, and we'll see who takes it here. Because for now it's just, oh well, I was about to say, it's just a little bit of early easy skirmishes, but Uki went for another good stun. He played Diablo, of course, already on the last map, so now he's going for the same approach here again. And up at the top, we got now Thrall with a bit of an unfortunate move there against Mindtalk. Yeah, Mindtalk not really affected by that whatsoever. But the camps are up. They're going for it right away. In this case, they're taking the Siege Giants first because the first tribute is actually at the top. Thrall got caught, so goodbye Gavlo. And here comes another hit up at the top as they're hoping to get Captain Rex, which didn't quite work out. But they can still push them away from that wall, or they're going to be the first ones to lose a tower or a gate. I'm very curious how much of an impact the triple global is going to have. Very curious. If you play it correctly and you get ahead, you can run... They can really just like run circles around your opponent. Talking about running circles, we have Lucio. So when it comes to quick rotations, Lucio can definitely help too. But this will be interesting. This will be quite interesting. Now, with all that said and done, Sven and Vito are currently going for the next camp. I assume that we're going to have this one attacked soon. In 10 more seconds, the first tribute is going to be announced. And you want to have the Siege Giants pushing in this case if you are the red team. It's just the ideal situation. You can keep one of your globals down at the bottom of the map, escort the camp through, and as soon as the fight over the tribute really breaks out, you fly in, get a numbers advantage, and you go ham on that. So, yeah, that's the next one. But, well, for now, we have up at the top, still a little bit of poke happening. They're trying to go for another kill. Nano makes... Ooh, Nano! Oh, Genji gets hammered. Yeah, nice. So, Nano, they really wanted him. Nearly killed him there, but Genji went a bit too deep, and you just can't do that like this. So, Hanzo wrecking his brother. Take another look at that, too. Can see it right there. So they jumped in, they want the kill, they get him low, and then Genji thinks, I got this. And well, you don't. You got Hanzo'd. Perfectly lined up and an easy kill for Nano. So now they're getting the tribute pretty much for free. Freebie for them. They were way closer to level 7 as well. Down to the bottom of the map now. We got Soaking and Sven locked into a 1v1. As expected, the Siege Giants are, of course, the point of contention. But thanks to Blaze, they can take it down fairly easily. Thrall goes stacking on level 4, so has currently only a single stack. We'll see if he's able to complete this anytime soon. But yeah, another hit! And Blaze is gone. Nice! Blaze eliminated, so he's a goner. We got 2 kills to 1. Next tribute is coming up. And topside, more poke. Nano trying to control the lane here. But I really want to see the red team just play around the globals. If you're running 3 globals on your team, I want you to use them. We will have to wait a bit longer, I guess, until we have level 7, sorry, level 10 abilities. But already more pressure down at the bottom of the map. Tribute spawning in 10. Still the Haka can take this over, and Nano is already forced back topside. So, as is, we're now looking at the next, the next tribute. And I guess they're going to get this pretty much for free. Not yet. No, well, is it going to be interrupted? Lucio, second too late, and Captain Rex paying attention, coming in with a poly and shutting that down very quickly. So the tribute indeed ends up in the hands of the red team. Nicely done. 2 stacks for Thrall, and he misses the next wolf, and now is reset back down to 0. So Gavlo, at least now, not really too lucky with this. But yeah. Either way, Fish now with his Tyrael. I want to see what the level 10 abilities are. I want them to go full bananas on it. I really doubt they will, but it would be funny. So Drag up at the top, already putting pressure onto Blaze. Can they get Sven in the middle of the map? Another approach, attempting to take him down, but up here, yes, this time Genji gets him. Genji comes in and I guess takes revenge, you could say, for the earlier misstep where it didn't work out for him. So we finally got another kill for the red team. And this one was kind of nice. The body blocks are coming through. That's the first thing that happens. And Genji then comes in, bam, drops the ragdoll and kicks it around. But that's the 3rd kill. They're still behind in experience, but here come level 10 abilities now for both teams. It's not really a big gap or anything. Thrall is back to 2 stacks, and as expected, it's Mighty Ghast and it's Sanctification. They're not going too crazy on this one. I think they still want to win. Inexcusable. Sundering. So we got that too. And yeah, we'll see. if they can go for the next objective here. Thrall is going to get that easy, no interrupt. Nice position, obviously, for them. So really good position for the blue team. They get the lead on the objective, could therefore threaten a curse on the next tribute. They want the birdie. Yeah, one stun, alright. And Falstad is dead. Yeah, no chance there. They just ganked up on him from all sides. The Sundering on Khaldor just hit the spot perfectly. And now they have a 5 versus 4. Then again, Lucio is dead, so that changes things a little bit. Especially since Blaze is at the top. So nice counter by Inting. They get Lucio, but Blaze has a bit more wiggle room now at the top to destroy the final tower on the wall. They are still going for the boss on the other hand. So the tribute is there, and I would assume that the red team is going for it. But Fish has just scouted all of this out, and they still have, first of all, Gust, and they have Sanctification. So this is going to be problematic. I mean, look at Uki alone. He's in trouble, goes for the APOC. There it is. Fish dodged it and can now drop the Sanctification. Gets stunned by the boss on the other hand. If he dies now, I'm going to laugh so hard. He gets stunned again, gets bullied around, got interrupted on the Sanctification, and finally gets it through. So he finally gets the Sanctification through, but there's still a trouble. He goes down, everybody's dead or dying. It's a total disaster. The boss gets taken by the red team though, and holy hell, Falstad, they couldn't get Lucio. They were so close, and now the bird gets nearly killed. Samo survives, Diablo comes in from the side, and Mindtalk is just sitting there, help! And he doesn't get any. So he's dead. They're going for Captain Rex. Brightwing is gonna get destroyed too. But the boss got stolen. They're even delaying the kill on Brightwing, which means that Brightwing is just committing Sudoku in the towers. So yeah, pretty insane. The Sanctification was delayed so many times, and then as you can see here afterwards, Tyrael, he gets destroyed. Explodes, they get the camp, the bunker was there. I mean, everybody went full YOLO on this one. Everybody wanted that thing. So now the boss is about to destroy the fort at the bottom of the map and has just done so. As at the top, they're still fighting for it. But yeah, pretty funny. 20,000 damage for Genji. We have 33,000 for Hanzo. Blue team is obviously going to be a little bit upset about this. They were looking pretty good up to that point on the boss. They also now lost the first fort in the game. That doesn't go down too well with them either. Lucio has died only once. Was able to make it out in the last fight. But Blaze, he's become the punching bag of this one. The only ones that have so far not died are Hanzo and Dehaka. So one on each side. But yep, with that, another quick move is coming here. They're trying to go for soaking this time. Sundering is out. Thrall himself at 20,000 damage has completed his level 4 quest in the last battle, by the way. Arrow on point, but can they get a kill? Follow up with a Frost Wolf pack. Again for another combo on Falstad, but Diablo! 48 points! Yeah, Gus doesn't do any damage, or he would have died there. But Dibbles is alive. He is alive indeed, but the rest of the team is still fighting. The lick and the kill. Thrall is gone. Nicely done. So really well played. They get the kill. They couldn't get Diablo, but at least they get one. And now it is time for the first curse. And they're going for the boss too. Soaking for the channel. And this is starting to become really dicey for the blue team. Because now they're going to lose 2 forts here. I think that's more or less inevitable. I would be shocked if we're seeing any other result. They're going for soaking. They're trying to bully him around a bit. Blaze has to feed the bottom of the map, which he's currently doing. But of course, all of these minions are easily taken. The boss is going to destroy the top fort with ease. And here in the middle, another one gets claimed. So the outer ring of defense will be gone after this curse. There's no denying that. The only question is, can they do anything else? Can they maybe work on that keep a bit too? Get the gate destroyed? Anything, honestly. And with half a level to 16, there is still the chance that they are getting their next talent before the curse is over. Always dependent on Genji here in the middle, who is still playing around with Sven, and rotates down to the bottom of the map now. But the boss is, yeah, they're 16. And the boss is nearly at full health, so they're gonna get a lot here. And Genji's not even coming, so this is a 4 versus 5 right now, with a talent lead for Inting again. Genji has now started to move towards the top, but he has got another minion wave through at the bottom. Arrow into the back line. Nice. Follow-up attempt. Nothing happening thus far, but this keep is taking damage. Curse is over though, so that makes it a little bit harder for them now. But they could technically still try to poke this one out. Sundering, not good enough. Can they get a kill here? Sanctification is used, and if they're already committing, then they should try and take this keep down right now. There's the Gus. They're buying themselves a little bit more space and time, and bye-bye keep. That one's gone, and now it's just a question whether or not everybody can get out. Soaking gets Hanzo, so he's dead. First death of the Haka. And I guess they're going to lose a few more. Well, maybe not. Brightwing, alright. So he gets out. And Captain Rex also dashes away. Nicely done. I'm impressed. 4 of them survived. Only a single hero dying for the keep. Totally worth it. I mean, easily. No problem at all. And now we have 16 versus 16 on the talent tier. We also have 50,000 damage for Hanzo, or about to. 32,000 for Falstad. And this is not looking too bad for Oops, I'm Inting again. They might be able to tie the series up now. The next attack is going to be pretty important. And obviously there is already a chance to go for the core at the top whenever they win a big team fight. Now, the path back into the game for the blue team is clearly through the next tribute. If you win the next tribute, you curse the red team. If you get a boss with that, or even previously, they're already trying with Hanzo, then they might just be able to make a play here. Gavlo got hit too hard, so he's low already. You really don't want that. Falstad used Gust, though, to prevent that fight from happening. And Fish is trying to cordon off some of these choke points as best as he can. So everybody is just dancing around this. But the tribute position is extremely good for the Raiders. It's very, very good for the Raiders now. So they should be able to get a curse here, unless they lose the team fight big time. But for the red team, they have now catapults at the top lane, camp in the middle, camp at the bottom. The longer this lasts, the better for them. The more time they can buy here, the more damage all of this will do. Especially with the Haka escorting the mid lane push through a little bit further. But the attack is coming, Sundering, and the Sanctification makes it through. Fish is alive. Big wave at the top, marching for the core, big push in the middle. There is a lot happening on the macro level. This is a problem, this is a bigger problem. So the blue team needs to send somebody back, and they need to do it quickly. Another interrupt has already happened. The globals are starting to move into the middle. And I'm not even talking about the catapults here that are also an absolute disaster. Tyrael goes down, Fish buying time for the team. All that you got to do now, Blaze is back. The core is losing its shield slowly, but it's more about the keep in the middle, honestly, than anything else. They're trying to come in again for that tribute to start the curse, but they just can't yet. And now we still have the keep down to maybe 20-30% HP. Core hasn't taken any damage, but down at the bottom of the map, the gate got opened up too. Tyrael's still gone on the other hand, so this is a 5 versus 4, but they're still heavily ahead in experience. Another attempt to delay. Highly successful for them, so the pressure is really there. The Raiders desperately attempting to get that curse going, and I think now they finally will catch the tribute. But just look at these lanes. The lanes are so heavily pushed against the blue team. It's gonna take a while until this curse has an effect. The biggest effect for now that it's gonna have is honestly they're gonna gain experience because there's so many minion waves that they can destroy, but more importantly it will push the lanes back so they gain some more map control. But taking forts down, I don't think we're gonna see a whole lot of that happening, honestly. At least not if they're defending properly, especially considering that they're about to hit their Storm Talons. I mean, the Haka is already... Is he actually trying to proxy anything here? Seems like he was thinking about it. Yeah, Hanzo's there. They want to go for a hit. Diablo, and he's dead. Diablo dead. There's level 20. There's Lucio gone. I don't think they're going to wait anymore. This is at least going to be a keep. Probably going to be more. Nice arrow again from Nano, but it wasn't good enough, and now he is dead as well. That should be the end of the game. I mean, from here on, you don't even have to waste any time with the keep. You can technically go for the core directly. They're still chasing them hard here. Bit low, but the keep in the middle is now gone, and of course, this is going to be the end of the game. What a nice comeback by Oops, I'm Inting again. Really well done by them. They take the second map in this best of 5 series. Gavlo, he's trying. He's really trying, but it's not happening. He dies. Diablo is still in play, or he's back. But of course, there's nothing to do here anymore. Well played by the red team. They are claiming victory on Cursed Hollow. Making this a pretty interesting series here in the semifinal. Which team moves on to the grand final? We'll find out soon, but for now we're heading into game number 3 of this series between the Raiders and, oops, I'm Inting again. Well, the series is tied, and we got Game 3 coming up. We have Garden of Terror as the map, and on the left again the Raiders with Nano and Genji this time. So he abandoned Hanzo and is now playing Genji, going from brother to brother. Uki with Garrosh, Sven on Sonya, Gavlo with Sergeant Hammer. The Germans, they are taking the Hammer again. Vido on Brightwing. And to the right, we got Mindtalk playing Reyna. This is Jimmy. Fish on Inubarak, Captain Rex on Lucio. We got Marl Karks on Cassia, and Soaking is playing Dehaka again. Already played him in the last game with obviously a lot of success. They were able to tie the series. And we have for Jimmy on level 1, Exterminator. Interesting. Not really what I expected here as the choice. I thought it was more about the team fight for them and him trying to get the damage in. There's a lot of stuns and slows that they could have used, so Ace in the hole would have been a valid option. Nice. Oh, that was still sexy. Did you guys see that? That was sexy. If that was intentional, him trying to get out like this, that was pretty cool. Cassia still died, but after being boxed in over here, that was a pretty sweet move. Check this out again. Have a look here how he got out of this. So he gets fully trapped, as you can tell, and then he's able to just simply move out with this and nearly gets away. If he would have gotten away, that would have been such a glorious play. But yeah, still cool effort. A for effort for sure. Now Jimmy has died, and again, obviously he can get a lot of value with Exterminator as the... Soaking, like what? Oh boy. Yeah, plays with the vision a little bit, knows perfectly well that there's a chance somebody's still making a play for him. But I was about to say, with Jimmy going for this choice, Mindtalk is now going to be a lot stronger against mercenary camps, and I talked in the past a lot about how important good mercenary camp control is when you're playing on Garden of Terror. So that hasn't really changed here. They have some other heroes that can do work on that end too, but still, Reyna's going to be a lot more helpful. He's also going to be good against Garden Terrors, so that's another one if you have to defend there. But again, personally, I expect that if they go for him to see Ace in the hole, they have Bed of Barbs as an option on level 4. They got the Haka. They got a couple of slows that they can utilize. Then again, we now have 2 kills to 0 in favor of the Raiders. So, of course, they would like to take the lead again in this best of 5 here at the semifinal. With the level 4 choices, we get in this case... we get in this case a kill against Lucio. So it's the 3rd one for the blue team. And we got now Underking, so increased Burrow Charge are going to be a bit deeper for these fights. Siege Tactics for Sergeant Hammer, not going for the Biosteel option. And Mindtalk is currently just moving from one camp to another. So, yeah, there's the next one. But, again, we'll see what they can do with this. For now, we have still a bit of action happening in the middle of the map. 3 kills to 0 gives, of course, a nice, cushy, tiny lead in XP to the blue team, at least for now. And then here over in the middle, we're looking at the first tribute, the first seed. I hate this map, honestly. I really hate it for that reason. This stupid shit was like, yeah, we're calling this a seed. Totally different mechanic. It's not like Cursed Hollow at all. And then you spawn spiders. Garden Terrors, plants with spiders. It's so dumb. They had to fix the map somehow, I get it, but yeah, it's just weird. It's a totally different objective. Collect these 3 things and then something spawns for you. It's just a different graphic, that's it at the end of the day. So yeah, I always call them tributes. It's so annoying. 4 kills to 1. 6 to 6. It was funny when Tim talked about, I mean, Tim obviously working back then as a community manager for Blizzard when they released the alpha, so Trixler. And they back then had apparently an internal testing. The map was initially called, the spawns on the map are called Garden Horrors. And apparently, if you say this 3 times fast, it has a bit of a different meaning. So they decided that Garden Horrors were not... The Garden Horrors were not the ones that they wanted to go for, so they came up with Terrors instead. So yeah, it was kind of amusing when he told that story, but I can totally see that being a thing. And Blizzard being like, huh, how about we don't? This sounds a little bit awkward. Either way, the lead in kills is still there for the Raiders. We now have the Subterranean Shield on level 7. We're getting in addition the Grounding Rod. Stacks for Cassia on level 1 have by now progressed to 17. 20 stacks coming in also for Genji. Yeah, and Gavlo, he now has the mobility thanks to the level 7 talent and can therefore zone control around the objective quite nicely. So this time the Seed is there, so they're getting that. And he can easily block them from engaging. Yeah, if he's already in such a good position, the red team is going to struggle to get it. And now Fish is in trouble. Oof. Yeah, Genji might have gone a bit too deep for this one as well and gets the assist from Brightwing to make sure that he stays alive. But yeah, that could have gone pretty badly. Then again, it's Nano, so he normally knows how deep he can go in these situations. So yeah, there's that. 14,000 for Genji. Top damage for the red team is currently Cassia with 6,000. Impressive. Not. So, yeah. Gavlo is annoying them. If you're going up against Sergeant Hammer, it's obviously per definition going to be annoying. There is at least the blind from Cassia that they can use to slow this down a bit. And we have another move for the Sergeant, but I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy. Not with Siege Tactics as a level 4 talent, of course the standard choice, unless you adopt Nyx's build. And, well, you can come in with the Haka, try for Lig, you have a Nubarak to engage, but there's also a few tools that can easily deal with you, Brightwing being one of them with a well-placed Poly. So definitely going to be very, very annoying to try and get there. Jimmy has gone into Reyna's Raiders. We have for Cassia, obviously, I mean Valkyrie, again, you're trying to get as many tools in that can deal with... Oh, Sergeant Hammer. Nano! Yep, comes in and takes down Jimmy. So Jimmy is now gone. That's kill number 5. They're doing a great job on the kill count. 5 kills to 1. Not the biggest lead in experience, but that's definitely something you can build on. Particularly since this Seed is positioned very nicely for them. So they should now be able to claim this one and take it down. Whereas up at the top, the Haka, Gavlo's ready. Gavlo saw that coming and immediately pushed this one out. And then on the other side, you have Uki trying to get them in range of the towers, but unfortunately there were still some minions involved that soaked the shots up. But this could have potentially threatened soaking at least a little bit. Now Mindtalk is still ready for the camps. He's still claiming those. Keep his level 1 choice in mind. This is very deliberate what we're seeing from him here. But while they are focusing on mercenary camps, we're also having that situation down at the bottom of the map where Sonya's going full spin to win, trying to apply pressure onto a fort. Major structures haven't been taken out yet. Yep, here we are again. Another quick hit, and Genji is gone. Finally, a second kill for the Inters. The red team, they get another one. Now we got the camp that gets very likely stolen. Sven, thankfully, was moving away quickly. They have, of course, a number disadvantage on the map. Genji's still not back, and I don't think they can make a play for it. Sonya also with the Wrath of the Berserker, so can't go for any high engage. Doesn't make in this particular composition any big sense to them, of course, either. But yeah, a few more hits are now coming. Mindtalk. They still shield him. And up at the top right, we have Cassia taking a camp. So, a seed. So now it's 2 for 2, which means that the next one is gonna spawn Garden Terrors for sure. Sonya gets caught at the bottom of the map, so they were still able to catch Sven. Genji, not gonna be too lucky on that end. But I like the way that the red team is trying to bring it back, but now they might just have found their match. Nice ult from Lucio, who did not go into high 5, but instead we're seeing the barrier from him. And that saved their butt in that last fight. That was actually well timed by him. So they are able to move out here. But the red team is really fighting for this. I mean, they have taken the lead in experience now. They've taken a talent advantage over the blue team. So after the Raiders took the initial win on Battlefield of Eternity, now it seems like slowly but steadily, Inting is maybe taking control of this series. So of course a bit too early to tell, don't get me wrong. And kill-wise, we still have a lead for the Raiders. But it feels like the red team is getting more into their rhythm, which is super important here. And again, Fish missing the stun, so that turned on him very quickly. Instead of them being the ones initiating, everybody turned on him and tried to drop him, which thankfully for them didn't work out. But here's now that also important tribute, which will cause Garden Terrors to spawn for one of the two teams. So, who's gonna get it? Another move for Dehaka, but Soaking still at the Burrower alive and could move away from this. They are still claiming the camp though, so that's nice for the mid lane now. Sorry, for the bot lane. Can still apply pressure there while everybody is focused on the seed. And since Gavlo is getting in a much better position now slowly, once that he's in position to zone them over here, they should be able to grab this. Yeah, red team is really falling back from this, and now Sonya coming in with a kill. Genji following it up with another one. Well done. Quick double kill for the Raiders, and now they turned it into a 5 versus 3. Garden Terrors are gonna spawn, and yeah, this might hurt. Now you have a situation at the bot lane where first of all the Garden Terrors are coming in. You already have a camp that is moving through, which means this fort is gone 100%. You have to shield your top and your mid lane, and they are playing around the bot lane already right at the keep wall. So right here, they're starting to take the towers down before any of these things that we just pointed out have even arrived. And it's going to force a full-on defense from Inting again, which means they will have to abandon, very likely, the mid lane, and therefore should lose another fort here. So this one hurts, especially considering that we had so many kills come in at the same time that they took that third seed. So yeah, the wall is gone, and even the keep is going to take a bit of damage. Now they're not going to be able to destroy it, but I don't really think that's necessarily the goal here. Jimmy, of course, can use his level 1 talent now to deal with this too, but look at the X-Strike! One kill is in immediately. Team is trying to get away, but it doesn't change the fact that Cassia going down here is annoying, and Fish, he escapes, but the fort is still gone. Very nice engage here though. They played well around the stun. Look at this. So well done here. Everybody is just in one little spot, and the X-Strike comes through just perfectly. Imagine that on level 20 when he gets cooldown reduction on top of it too. 16 on the board, and well, there we have it. Dehaka is gone, the fort in the middle and the fort at the top, they all get destroyed. None of them in play any longer. And now the move for the next camp. So full-on shift in momentum. They've built up so much momentum now. They're going from camp to camp. They're really making the big plays here. Trying to just go from one camp that they're stealing to the next. Gain full control over this. Push these lanes back. Pin the red team down in their base. And then capitalize on it afterwards. For Inting, it's again a situation where they would love to get at least one seed more so that they get Garden Terrors for themselves. But in order to make that happen, a teamfight victory would go a long way, and they just can't facilitate that as it seems. Anubarak is dead again, so now it's 10 kills to 3, and on top of that, they stole another camp. And while they are pushing bot lane, and they will try to go for the keep here, just look what happens at the top. The same thing is unfolding right there. Camps are going straight in for the structures, and this is just a nightmare. With Anubarak gone, it's a 3 versus 5 at the bottom of the map now. And I don't think they can save their keep. They can't even save Jimmy. Jimmy is there too. Great move from Garrosh. He came in and shut it down quickly. And thanks to Gavlo and Hammer and those Siege Giants, this bottom keep will be destroyed. Genji is, of course, poking from a distance as well. The Raiders are getting into a better spot by the minute. 34,000 damage for Jimmy. He died 5 times. He's still suffering from the same problem as usual. He just doesn't have the escape tools that he needs in a situation like this. So when he gets engaged upon, when he gets thrown, then it's a huge problem. Finally, kill against Sergeant Hammer though. Finally, they're getting a kill here, and now they're going to get more. I think. Right wing. Alright, I guess I guess it's, well, with Genji now, maybe it's gonna shift things slightly. Yeah, now Captain Rex is about to die. He at least gets a kill on Brightwing, and he actually gets out! He gets away! So they get Garrosh and they get Brightwing. They destroyed both. And now we should honestly... Ah, the seed got taken already. Ah, that sucks. I was just about to say, if they now grab the seed, then they can at least destroy the forts, but unfortunately for them, they weren't able to. So as long as Sonya and Genji still stay alive here, they should have everybody back in time to fight for the next seed. So yes, Sonya sneaking the objective in was super important. If that didn't happen and they get Garden Terrors now, you are probably going to lose all 3 forts. At least 2. But the way it is, they will lose 1 in the middle, might lose a bit more ground on the map, but they already have Sergeant Hammer back, and the other 2 are going to be back in the game in just another moment. So 87 stacks, by the way, for Cassia. So Cassia has really done a great job stacking it up here. 87 at level 14 now. Would have, of course, loved to have a bit more, but she's already top damage for the team. Now the defense is starting up at the top. They're not going to get the entire fort. They got it low, though. But there's also level 20 to consider, which will soon be ready for the blue team. So you don't want to go up against those Storm Talons if you can avoid it. They also have to be careful that they're not inting too hard here now. And I'm talking about the blue team this time. So don't give them another kill. You don't really have to take these fights. Sonya claims the camp, gets another chunk of experience for them. There's level 20. With that, we now have her with the nerve, with Ignore Pain. And we also got the Ultra Capacitors for Sergeant Hammer and the Invisible Friends for Brightwing, because that's the only kind of friends that Brightwing has, the imaginary ones. Invisible and imaginary. 12 kills to 6. And they're already about to force another team fight, aren't they? They couldn't get the Siege Giants, but yes, the least they want to do is win the fight so they can get the seed and don't suffer the objective. But if they can get some kills, they'll throw, their taunt. Ooh, an Uberak! And he's dead. Fish is gone, and that could be the beginning of the end. They focus on Jimmy once again, and it is the same old story. The second that he finds himself thrown by Garrosh, he just cannot survive because he doesn't have the mobility to get out of there. No escape tools whatsoever, and they siege up on the core. For now, we have a 2-1 lead, I suppose, for the Raiders against Inting again. Yeah? That is that for now. So we're headed for game number 4. Great job by the Raiders and a well-deserved victory on Garden of Terror. So let's see if the red team can bring it back again or if the Raiders are able to make it to the grand final. Game number 4, first match point for the Raiders. The Raiders on the left in blue with Ukion and Uberak here on Dragonshire. We have Nano and Hanzo. We have Sven playing Dehaka, Gavlo on Maiev, and Vito is playing Karazim. Inting did fairly okay, honestly, with Mindhawk playing now Falstad in game number 4. They definitely had a chance on Garden of Terror, but momentum turned against them in that last fight, and then it snowballed a bit. Malkarx on Genji, Fish on Tyrael, Captain Rex on Brightwing, and Soaking is playing Urel now. So, we got 1 global for each side this time. No full domination on the globals for the red team as we had previously. Beetle starting up at level 1, standard talent for Karazim with the Iron Fist. They got a lot of mobility, honestly, with all those dives that they have here, and that could be a problem particularly for the birdie. They want to have some chicken. Honestly, now that I'm talking about it, I want to have some chicken too. So I think I'm going to make myself summon the air fryer later. Air fryer, one of the best purchases that I made in the last couple of years, for sure. I was very skeptical on this shit, because every single time I hear air fryer, I think about, like, you know, where you fry your potato chips, or you fry fries. And that's usually a totally messy thing, and it's just insanely unhealthy, and a lot of fat involved, and whatever. And then at some point I read up on it, and air fryers are actually extremely good. super fantastic for time saving in particular, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, everything has now been replaced by air fryer plays. I'm not doing anything in the oven anymore, and only air fryer. So I was really surprised by that, and especially surprised by how much I use that thing. It's absolutely insanity. Particularly vegetables. I always hated making vegetables in the oven. It just takes too long, it's too annoying, and then doesn't taste good enough. Air fryer, just throw it in, a couple of minutes later, they're fine, so you can just always make your food there. It's ridiculous how good these things are. So, yeah, huge fan. If you've ever been on the fence, I can only recommend it, like really. Much healthier food, much faster, smaller portion sizes. You don't have to go through all of this oven crap the entire time, which just takes like 20 minutes just to heat that thing up properly, and another 40 to get your food ready. So yeah, none of that crap anymore. So big fan, big fan. Why did I start up with air fryers? Ah yeah, Falstad. So Falstad in the air fryer, exactly 20 minutes, and then you have perfect chicken right there. So that's what we're going for, or at least what I'm going to go for later. They're probably going to try and get him now because these boys are hungry. They want to get some chicken in the game, and well, they're going to get the first one. Nope. Brightwing is helping out. So Tyrael has gone into an aggressive play, and this is looking like it's going to be a judgment. Ooh, if they are going judgment on Tyrael. Now, they can, of course, still go into an aggressive play and then use Sanctification. But that build is normally used with Judgment as your level 10 choice, and they're already being super aggressive here. So if they go Judgment with this, are we gonna see Hinterland? Ooh, that would be sexy. I'm actually just mentioning it because obviously 99.9% of the time, exactly, that many times, you are gonna see just Wind Tunnel and Mighty Gust. I mean, duh. But I've actually had on some maps 1 or 2 games. I mean, it's a while ago. It's not really the, you know, like the final game of a grand final. But we have 1 or 2 Hinterland Blast games. And the cooldown reduction, if you are hitting it properly, is just fucking ridiculous. It is honestly super, super fun to watch. And the old school play, of course, with Judgment back in the days was that Falstad would go Hinterland Blast. You would have a Nova on your team too, and she would go for the orbital strike and then just blast the target away. We're not going to see anything of this here now, but it would be funny. So they're going for the first objective, and they nearly got it, but down to the bottom of the map, Brightwing couldn't hold on to the shrine, and now Brightwing also got murdered. So Nano, again, going full Hanzo on them and taking them down. So, very well done. Down to the bottom of the map, there's another one. Yeah, that one. Kind of missed a little bit from Mookie. But they're going for Mind Talk, and the second stun hits. And now the bird is in trouble. Nice attempt to get the counter kill, but that also backfired. So all of a sudden we have 2 kills for the blue team, and they're building up that momentum again that we've seen in the previous games. Genji is also getting chased. First they kill Tyrael down here. Genji at least escaped, but now it is the game of the Raiders. For sure. Raiders are doing a great job now trying to control this, and they might therefore also be the first ones to get a Dragon Knight. Now the death timers are of course still extremely low, so therefore it's not guaranteed. But they're gonna try what they can. Yeah, here in the middle. Yeah, they can't really make a play for it. There's still Falstad and Hanzo busy at the bottom of the map fighting over the next shrine. Oh, Vito getting a little bit aggressive here. Jumping back in. But I can't really do anything about it. I don't think they can get the Dragon Knight just yet. They would have to grab a few more kills in order to make that happen right now. Oh, Nano! Yep! Genji following up on it, and with some brotherly love, he takes him out. Hanzo is gone. Now they're going for the bird again. Good tether from Gavlo though with Mayet. And they're just slicing through the bird, and there it is. No Dragon Knight for the red team either. They have the double control, but there's nobody in the middle that can take it. Now we have both teams on level 9. And yep, here we go. Gavlo just securing the mid lane. Normally, when both teams pay attention and nobody dominates the team fights too heavily, then it takes a while until you get the first Dragon Knight. When those death timers are a bit higher. But level 10 can, of course, start to change the momentum and the dynamic of the game a little bit. Particularly since the blue team seems to be the first one to grab it. But they're getting chased off the bottom shrine again. And now Falstad is flying in too. So with the mobility of Genji rotating down, they are having, for just a second, full control again. Which they are now losing. And there's Cocoon, we get Containment Disc, and we get the 7-sided strike. And apparently Falstad is actually going to try to win the game, so Mindtalk has gone for the Mighty Gust. It's a little bit of a sad move, but yeah, obviously if you want to win the video game, then this is probably what you should do. We still get Judgment though. So they go for Judgment, and Fish doesn't have a chance to judge anything here, because the first one to be judged is him. And that is the end of Tyrael. So goodbye, my friend. Tyrael is gone. Yrel soaking, still up at the top. And just on the damage numbers alone, we now have the two Shimada brothers taking the win again. At least when it comes to top damage for their own team. Hans on one side, Genji on the other. But Maiev is a little bit higher than Genji, so she's been doing a lot here. And they're getting another kill now at the top. The Inters, they're taking down Dehaka this time. But it also created some space at the bottom of the map for Gavlo and Nano to take that tower and the wall down. The disc, if they can, thanks to the silence... Ah, nice! Preemptive judgment to make sure that Nano can't get a full-on hit through against Mindtalk. That was well done. And now Genji is coming in and takes Maiev down on the back end of that fight. Well done. Kill for a kill on the other hand. So, yeah. 2 gone, 5-5. And maybe now even a Dragonite. But yes, well done. So, really nice job here. Gavlo gets killed from Genji, as you can see, so he comes in from the side, and then afterwards they move through to get a second kill, which they got. And on the back end of this, an easy Dragonite for the red team is the result. So now they can go through the middle of the map, maybe even take the entire fort down, but there's the momentum. Oops, I'm Inting again. They want to force game number 5. They want to make sure that we're going the distance in this series. The Raiders currently with 2-1 lead in this best of 5. But the first objective goes to the red team, and they are getting more and more annoying on structures. Quick Cocoon though, on Brightwing, big arrow, 7-sided strike, but Falstad denies the kills. Yeah, with Sven and Dehaka coming in just at the end of that fight, they are still grabbing one against Tyrael, and now these two are trying to escape, and I'm not sure they can. There's a dive and a stun. That second one doesn't quite hit, but they're still getting Brightwing, I guess. I'm not sure if they can get more, but that's the second kill, and that's already fantastic. Isolation missing from Dehaka. Nothing that they could do here. Both teams with level 13 talents now. No fort destroyed, by the way. They did a lot of damage to some of them, and they destroyed a lot of walls and towers, but they couldn't destroy the entire thing. And now, at the bottom, it honestly seems like the Raiders might just be the first ones to grab one. Brightwing isn't here yet, but has, of course, a global. Judgment again. They're going for Karazim. 7-sided strike, and he should be able to dash out here. Does he get another heal? Low and dead. 1 down, 2 down. That's 2 gone. It is a blow-for-blow game here. 1 hit after another hitting these two teams. And now it's the red team that is trying to push for structures again. Dehaka has been sitting on the side lane the entire time, using his PhD in PvE to take some minion waves down. Has never even joined the battle, but is at least applying pressure to the red team structures. So the Inters still fighting out down at the bottom. Karazim and Maiev soon back, but fort number 1 is getting destroyed on the blue team side. 7 kills to 7, everybody. And Dehaka still rotating. Moving, moving, moving. Mid lane, top lane, and back time and time again. Genji and Yrel haven't died in this game yet. Everybody else has at least been destroyed once. Yeah, and now it's camps up. Now it seems to like slow down a little bit. At least until the next objective is up. Down to the bottom of the map. Yeah. Seems like they're gonna get away with the Bruiser Camp for free. Yeah, they're just shielding everything here. So they get the Bruiser Camp, and that might just be the end of the bottom fort. Yeah, honestly could get this now. If they defend this, or if they defeat this quickly, that push might help them to get the fort. Particularly since somebody has to stay in the middle to prevent the Dragonite from being grabbed. Early level 16 for them, so that's nice. Down here, the attempt to retake the shrine already shut down. Oh, yeah. Now with the Cocoon. I am surprised that they didn't get Dehaka. Ah, there he is. Yeah, Dehaka's in the mix, and there's the kill. I was just about to say, once the Cocoon is out, you kind of want to have Dehaka down here and want to make sure that you take it on. So, yeah. With that, we have the bot fort going down 100%. The main question is simply, can they get more kills and or can they also, in addition to that, get the objective? Urel interrupts once. Good for her. Falstad is trying to fly to the top. It all depends on whether or not the channel happens now immediately. One interrupt, that's all that they needed. Falstad is going to take the top, but is it going to cost them a hero? Because Brightwing in particular is now in the middle, is jumping out towards Genji. And soaking, yeah, he's soaking a lot of damage, maybe a little bit too much now. So, yeah, 9 kills to 7, and another push at the top with the count. Maiev has taken down the fort at the bottom of the map, so the first fort destroyed on the red team side. And the blue team hasn't given up on the Dragon Knight yet. They're still fighting for the Dragon Knight. They have Maiev down at the bottom, could save them a bit more time. Can they make a play in the middle, though? That's the bigger question. They're coming in with the rest of the team in an attempt to take it. Nano should be the one to try and make a move here, but they want Mindhawk. Arrow hitting Brightwing. Maiev goes down at the bottom of the map. Over here, though, they're likely going to get 1 kill, maybe even 2. Yes, they get both of them. Well done. Brightwing and Falstad are both dead. Retaking the altar, or the shrine at the bottom. Genji is now at it, but Anupurak, just in time. Oh, that was a really nice one. Coming out of the shadows here. Genji is gone. Urel immediately moved towards the top. It's the ring around the rosy play as they're going for full control in this game. Uki is now coming in too, but yeah, it's all over the place now. The blue team has taken a lead. They are level ahead, and it seems like this Dragon Knight for them is inevitable. I find it amazing that nobody is sitting here. Like, somebody should have been here right away. They're, of course, still double-checking the bushes, but now it's clear that Oops, I'm Inting has just resigned themselves to the fact that the Raiders are getting an objective. So the Dragon Knight is in, and now they can start moving for the mid fort, I suppose. Just play around the Dragon's Breath a little bit. Not in too hard here, but yeah, make a few moves. Defense is starting to shape up in the middle very quickly. Genji isn't back yet, but he will be soon and can help out then. That gives us level 19 for the blue team. Of course they don't want to go to game 5. They would love to just lock in the grand final right now. They would be the first team to make it to the grand final. Cocoon gets already used. Apparently they're trying to force this fight again. Falstad is at the top. Falstad is still getting experience for them and pushes for structures. He's gonna get the fort, but they're losing Brightwing now. And yeah, without the support, the Dragon Knight's still alive for another 30 if they play around the timer. They will open this wall up. So yes, the bird is getting a lot of value for them, but it also means that the blue team is now getting more done down here. Falstad is flying in to help out, but the keep gets now attacked. Good move on the Dragon Knight. That gust allowed them to focus solely on the DK, but here's level 20. And there's one catapult on the keep, and they have a level 20, and they have a numbers advantage, and there's no support for the red team. So no sustain outside of those towers. Sorry, those fountains. So if they focus this through, they should get a lot here. And yep, Tyrael is already gone. Tyrael destroyed, and this keep is not going to make it. It's way too low already. 14 kills, 2-8, and of course, there's just no saving this one. Maiev doing wonders here. Cams are up all over the place. That should be easy pickings for the red team. Shouldn't be a problem for them to claim any of these. Even if they wanted to chase this one down, they could. I assume that they will instead go down to the bottom of the map and try their luck there. Still a 1 level lead for, I mean, an entire level. So technically, they could try and get Siege Giants and the Bruiser Camp lined up and go through the bottom of the map. Attack the core a little bit, but a bit too risky. Would take too much time, but they might be able to get the bird. Yeah, they might be able to get the bird. Cocoon, stun, and down. And gone. Falstad is dead. The disc didn't connect, the arrow did, and now Brightwing gets Hanzo'd. Once again, Nano is on an absolute tear here as he rips them a new one. The team moves down to the bottom of the map. Seems like they're going to try to go for the core here. Dehaka, he is trying to take the top side camp out, but he will have to join them if they really want to make this play. So he's going to move down in just a moment, but they are already looking to take the core apart. Dehaka is there. They're hoping for follow-up kills. They go for Tyrael immediately, and they get him. Tyrael is gone. The explosion is going to help with the D-push a bit, but this is not looking good for the red team. The Inters, they are in trouble. They're really in trouble now. The core is losing its shield. They're losing Genji, and this is going to be game. This is going to be game and match. The Raiders moving on to the grand final of the Division 1 Cup. The end of season tournament. Well played, nicely done. A 3-1 victory for them as they lock in a W on Dragonshire against Oops, I'm Inting again.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.